Okay. Okay, guys. Hope that you hear me pretty well. My name is Roman. I am working in AceLab, and right now, let me share my screen. Let me try to do that. Here it is. Okay, so what we are going to do today. Today we're going to present you PC-3000 Portable 3. It's our new tool, which is the most effective solution for physically damaged drives based on SATA, PATA, NVMe, PCI Express, RAID arrays, and other types of interfaces. And first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Roman. I am the training and head of technical support department in AceLab. And actually, our schedule for today is the following. So in the beginning, I'm going to tell you a few words about our company, about AceLab. After that, we are going to discuss about the main challenges that usually arise when we working with physically damaged drives. And then we will start to speak about PC-3000 Portable 3 tool. Of course, we are going to discuss about real case examples, and I'm going to show you some real cases which are connected with physically damaged hard disk drive, SD cards, and of course NVMe SSDs. And after every part of our topic, we're going Q&A session, so you are be able to unmute yourself and ask me any question that you get. The whole session, I think that will go around maybe 90 minutes, 1 hour and a half. And during this time, I hope that you enjoy my presentation. So what about AceLab company? Actually, our company has a history, and for the last 28 years, we are on the market. And for 28 years, we are developing different tools for physically damaged drive, for recovery data from physically damaged HDD, SSD, RAID arrays, different types of solid-state drives, different types of NAND memory chips, and so on. And we have a lot of customers worldwide, so we have a lot of experience to work with different types of damaged storage devices. And of course, we present our tools, we sell our tools also worldwide, and we have more than 120 different countries to where we sell the PC-3000 tools, PC-3000 products. Our company was founded in 1992, and we actually located in Prague, Czech Republic. And from Prague, we provide trainings, we provide sales, we provide our technical support. And Tiltech is our partner in North America and Canada and USA, and they also seriously help us with trainings because they provide a good equipped class for training about HDD recovery, about flash recovery. They sell in our tools, and of course they help us to organize the conferences from time to time. We provide the conferences in USA. Last conference was in 2018. And actually, what do we know about main challenges for forensic labs right now? If we will take the situation 10 years ago, and when you get the digital forensic case, you must be sure that it would be a classic hard disk drive, because the most popular type of the storage device 10 years ago was a hard disk drive. But if we talk about situation nowadays, you are going to find that really you never don't know what type of device you will get. Actually, it doesn't depends on what type of organization do you have. It might be a digital forensic expert lab, or probably it might be just a private company for data recovery. No matter what is it, because actually you never know what exactly you will get when customer brings the case to you. It might be different types of drive. It might be SSD, HDD with different type of form factor, with different type of interface. It might be USB flash sticks. It might be NAND-based SD cards, so micro SD cards. It might be different types of solid-state drives, and of course there might be a pretty huge and complex RAID arrays from digital video registrations from other types of devices. And actually, of course, we never know how to handle with all these types of the drives. But the main question is what you're going to do if for some reason it's not possible to reach the access to the drive that you get. Because if, let's say, your hard disk drive or your SSD drive is not working properly, you will not be able to make an imaging from this drive, and you will not be able to recover data from it. And actually, one of the main and problematic issues that digital forensic experts get is logically and physically damaged drives and the password protected drives. Because you know that some digital video registration tools, some vehicles, they might be locked. They might have some specific hard disk drives or SSDs inside, which are locked by an ATA password. And the question is how to bypass this password, how to open the password. Or probably some criminal might open the hard disk drive, put the password on it and close it. So drive will be locked and it will be impossible to analyze the content inside the drive. And of course, if we are talking about logical and physical damages, forensic labs have just only a few steps to do. Usually they can successfully get the evidence from absolutely healthy drive. But if we are talking about partially damaged or physically damaged drives, of course, in this case, there would be a real problem for evidence recovery. What you have to do in case if you don't have a proper tool for getting data from physically damaged drive, how you are going to analyze what's going on with the drive, how you're going to find out why the drive is not working. And actually, in most of cases, engineers without a specific tools, without a special tools for physical damaged drive recovery, they can do nothing because they don't have special tools, they don't have special algorithms, they don't have necessary adapters, and so on. Sometimes it's possible to recover just a few amount of data in case if we are talking about logical corruptions. But of course, if we are talking about serious physical issues of firmware, hard disk drive or SSD drive firmware issues, of course, in this case, forensic engineers get a lot of problems. There is another option. You can theoretically outsource the case and give this case to another company, to another engineer who already have such special equipment. But actually, it's not very safety because no one can guarantee that your target data, which is located on your suspect drive, will not float away somewhere. And nobody can guarantee that everything will be done correctly and privately. And the last option that you have is to recover as much data as possible. And for doing this, of course, you have to use some special equipment. And that's why we're here. We're going to present our equipment today. And again, Ace Lab produced PC-3000 tools, a lot of different tools, which allows you to work with physical damaged drives. And right now, in 2020, we already announced and we already released our new type of device, which called PC-3000 Portable 3. Actually, it's the most convenient and the most built-in solution, which allows you to work with the widest range of different types of storage devices, including different types of hard disk drive, including all types of PATA, SATA, and USB interface, including NVMe and PCI Express and SATA SSD drives, red arrays, digital video recorders, and some other tools, some other devices. And what do we know about PC-3000 Portable? Actually, we announced it just 1 year ago, but for this 1 year, we completely finished all research, all our jobs about improving the quality of PC-3000 Portable. And from the beginning of 2020, we start to sell our product. It's already almost 4 months in stock. So during this time, we release a lot of new updates. We improve the functionality, we improve the stability. And right now, we are ready to sell and we're ready to present our new tool, which is called PC-3000 Portable 3. Actually, if we are talking about PC-3000 Portable, we should remember that it supports almost all types of storage devices. The only type of storage devices which is not supported right now, it's mobile phones. But for mobile phones, we have our another tool, another product which called PC-3000 Mobile. But if we are talking about classic storage devices like different types of hard disk drive, like SSDs, like digital cards, USB flash TUMS drives, and some other devices, of course, the portable tool is unique because with the help of this tool, you can handle with all these types of the storage devices. And the main features of portable, of course, is that you can work with 3 drives at the same time independently. The maximal speed of recovery will be around 350-390 megabyte per second because we're using the latest hardware part inside the portable tool. You can reach a pretty high speed of imaging around 500 megabyte per second. And of course, PC-3000 Portable include the hardware write protector, which allows you to activate it and be sure that no one will change your initial data. And of course, during the copying process, it will be possible to calculate the checksum, which was unfortunately not be possible to do with our previous tools like Udemy and Express. But of course, the main features of PC-3000 Portable 3 is not just the things that described on this slide, because PC-3000 Portable can do even much more than we describe on this slide. And PC-3000 Portable can provide you a pretty good options, a pretty good mods for evidence recovery. Inside the PC-3000 Portable, we can use 3 different mods. The first one called a standalone mod. It's a pretty simple mod, which is included inside the PC-3000 Portable tool, and which allows you to analyze the hard disk drive and do some basic diagnostic. After that, we can use easy mode. It's a special mode which was created especially for beginners and for forensic specialists who is not dealing with a pretty complex cases and who is not familiar with the interface of PC-3000. Especially for beginners and for forensic purpose, easy mode will be a great solution, a great option, because with the help of easy mode, you can work with most of the cases, you can analyze it, you can extract the evidence without the knowledge how the PC-3000 full feature mode is working. And of course, full feature mode, which is the same as for Udemy and Express systems. This mode is pretty good because it allows you to work with the complex and with the most complex drives, with the most complex issue that you may get in your practice. And of course, it might be a little bit complex for beginners, but again, it provides you the widest range of different options, a widest range of different solutions for all types of storage devices. And of course, PC-3000 Portable is optimized for both of digital forensic and for data recovery companies. And it allows you to work in the field if you want to take the portable with you, or it allows you to work with your computer, with your desktop computer, or with a laptop inside the lab. And what else we know about portable tool? First of all, it's pretty compact. It's just a little bit bigger than a mobile phone, and you can take it with you on the crime place and use it with the help of laptop, or use it like a solution with a standalone mode. And again, it includes the easy mode, which is pretty good for forensic and for beginners. It includes the full feature mode, the same as Udemy and Express boards, which we released earlier. And these tools, this mode allows you to recover the maximal number of digital evidence from physically damaged drive. PC-3000 Portable also has a special automatical checkup and reports, which can provide you additional information, and then you can use it. You can send this information to your customer if we are talking about digital recovery lab, or you can send it for the court if we are talking about some forensic case, and you can use these reports do your recovery business. Also, PC-3000 Portable tool is the only tool from PC-3000 line who can handle with NVMe drives, with physically damaged NVMe M.2 drives. You know that NVMe drives become more and more popular. They actually cover a huge area of the solid-state drive. They are not so expensive right now, but they, at the same time, much more compact than standard SATA drives. And you can put it anywhere. You can put it into your laptop, into your computer, into specific devices. So M.2 NVMe drives become more and more popular, and they get more and more part inside the SSD market. And finally, we get a solution for such physically damaged drives. So if you have M.2 NVMe drive, you can handle it with the help of PC-3000 tool. And finally, PC-3000 contains a USB host port, which is perfectly can handle with logically damaged USB sticks or SD cards, micro SD cards, because sometimes if operating system can't work normally and stably with the logically damaged USB stick, probably you will get some message about formatting, or probably you will get some empty partition. With all these problems, including the bad sectors issue, you can handle with USB host port, which is already included inside the PC-3000 portable tool. But I'm going to demonstrate all these features just a little bit later. So let's talk about real life cases. First of all, I'm going to tell you that during a demonstration, we are going to speak about standalone mode. I'm going to show you how to diagnose the drive in standalone mode without any host computer. After that, I'm going to tell you how we can use easy mode, which is, as I said before, perfect for beginners and for forensic. And in the end, I'm going to show you how we can handle with USB host port, which is perfect for logically damaged USB stick and SD micro SD cards. And in the end, I'm going to show you how we can handle with physically damaged NVMe drive, which contains a serious problem in firmware part. So the first topic will be a standalone mode. I want to remind you that after every type of the after every part of my speech, you are welcome to ask me any questions. So probably we'll get 3 or 5 minutes short breaks when you can ask me about any questions, and I will provide you an answer. So let's discuss about standalone mode. I will show you the demonstration, and after that we'll go to Q&A session, first part of it. And what do we have in standalone mode? Actually, as I said before, in standalone mode, you don't need to use any host computer. The only things that you need to have, just a PC-3000 portable with built-in screen. There are two options that you can use inside the portable tool. You can use the drive diagnostic features, or you can use a drive copying features. If you are talking about diagnostic features, you can read the drive ID, you can read capacity, serial number to make sure the drive is not working or working partially, and so on. Also, you can read smart parameters to see all details about the drive. What is the parameters of the smart, how long the drive was in use, and so on. Also, you are able to view the sector information and read the content from the platters. In case if your drive contains a serious corruptions or serious problem, of course, in this case, it will be impossible to reach the data on the platters. But if we are talking about partially working or working drive, of course, you will see the sector view and you will see the content and hex. After that, it became possible to launch the reading test and analyze the data with the hash sum calculation, because sometimes if you want to make sure that data is not modified, it's not changed, we can calculate the hash sum during the read test. Read test will allow you to analyze the condition of drive to find out, do we have any bad sectors, do we have any bad areas inside the HDD, and finally get a good access to data, and finally continue to copy to another drive. If we're talking about copying features, actually just a few features are available. The first one is imaging with hash sum calculation, as I said before. Another one is data erasing, if you want to destroy the data, if you want to prepare the hard disk drive for further cloning. It's of course very important to erase all information that was previously recorded on the drive, because we are going to use it like a target drive from where we will to where we are going to make a copy. And the copying process, so with the help of portable standalone mode, you don't need to use host computer, you just plug several hard disk drive to your portable system, and you can do a copy from one drive to another one or two drive that you connect to portable system. And of course, when you're doing all these steps, when you're doing all these actions, log report will be available for you. So while you connect the portable tool to your computer, you will be able to analyze the log and see what was doing before by engineer who analyzed the data on the drive. And a few words about hash sum calculation. As you can see, we support several hash sum formats. So all these formats available on the screen, you can see it. And during the hash sum calculation, you can choose which type of hash sum calculation you are going to use and you are going to apply during the drive diagnostic or drive copying, drive imaging. Hash calculation might be proceed during the read test or during the copying process. It's up to you. And right now, let me start the live demo. Unfortunately, I don't have a high resolution camera here, so that's why we already record a short video with the demonstration. And right now, I'm going to share this video for you. First of all, unfortunately, I have to stop sharing my desktop screen because I want to switch between presentation and video. And of course, later, this video will be available for you for downloading with the presentation if you want to download it later. Okay, so let me try to share the presentation. Share the video, sorry. Okay, share the screen, and here it is. Okay, and here it is. Unfortunately, due to the video content, there might be some freezes, but don't be afraid. I will pause the video and will show you all details and will comment all steps that I'm doing here. So here we get SSD based on Plextor technology and another one, which is a data drive to where we're going to make a copy. Let's try to plug both of the drive to PC-3000 portable tool. We're going to connect our source device to port 0 and target device to port 1. After that, we can try to activate the screen inside the PC-3000 portable using the special buttons on the both sides of the screen. And after that, let's try to choose the diagnostic. So we are going to find out what's going wrong with this drive. Probably it's working or probably it's not working at all. So I'm going to do the first step, reading the drive ID. And when I read ID, I can get information about our drive serial number, and about the full capacity in LBA and in gigabytes. So I can get all this information. Usually, if the drive returns back to you serial number, model name, and capacity, most likely that this drive doesn't have any serious issues inside. And probably, just probably, it will be possible to get the data from this drive and analyze it later on. So let's go to the next step. The next step will be the smart view information, because smart parameters can show us all information about our drive. So here we can read some interesting information about how many bed sectors we have, how many sectors have been relocated. We can get information how many hours this drive was on, and actually here we can get information about 601 hours. So this is a pretty used drive, so it was under the working process for a long period of time. Also here we can get some other parameters, and the most important parameters will be highlighted with a black color. So you will be able to find out which parameters are the most extremely important. But again, this drive doesn't have any problems in smart, so most likely that this drive works stably and it doesn't have any serious problem. Let's go forward. The next step is a sector view. If our drive doesn't have serious problems, probably it will be possible to reach the content which is located on the drive. For doing that, we're going to launch sector view and see what content will be available for us. For example, here we can see LBA 0, which is usually master boot record or MBR sector. And this MBR sector includes some basic information about number of partitions, about drive capacity, and some other information. So we can switch the sectors, we can analyze the whole capacity, and if I will just hold the button move forward, I will be able to jump over all LBAs. So here I can read actually all LBAs, and I can see that content inside is pretty good and most of the sectors are available for us. So drive looks not so bad, and probably it will be possible to copy it. But before copy, we have to launch a read test. Read test should help us to make sure that this drive doesn't have any bad sectors, or probably during the read test, we can try to calculate the hash sum. And if I will select the read test, I will select MD5 calculation, for example, and with the help of MD5 hash sum calculation, it will be possible to scan the drive, calculate the hash sum, write it somewhere, and use it later when we will compare the hash sum before drive analyzing and after. So here you can see that within approximately 13 minutes, portable tool show us the MD5 hash sum string, and again we can use it, we can record it, or we can try to use it later when we will plug the portable tool to our computer. Okay, what next we are going to do here? We can see that drive is reading ID. We can see the smart parameters, which mean that assay area in this drive is pretty good. We can even read the content inside the drive, and we can pass the read test without any problems. So right now we can try to make a sector by sector copy from port number 0 to port number 1, where a data target drive is located. So let's copy the drive and choose the copying process. Here I'm going to copy data from port 0 to port 1 without hash sum calculation. I just want to make a copy. And the portable tool will show us which drives connected to port 0 and port 1. This information will be available for us. And as you can see, both of the drives belongs to SSD. And of course, with the help of SSD, we can reach a pretty high speed of copying process. That's why the copying speed will be around 4 or around 350 megabytes per second. Of course, the speed might be different in the beginning, in the end of the drive, all depends on the drive condition. But actually, typical speed will be more than 300-400 megabytes per second if we are doing a copy from one SSD to another one. And here you can see that copying process become done, and portable tool will automatically switch off the power supply on port 0 and 1. After that, you can disconnect the drive and get a good sector by sector drive copy in your hands. What else we can do here? Actually, we can try to erase the data. Let's imagine that we want to prepare our drive for copying process. And for doing that, we need to prepare it and we need to erase the surface, because the previously recorded data might be a real issue for evidence for later research, because if we will make a copy sector by sector copy from one drive to another drive, we will find that most likely that if we are using the drive with bigger capacity, it will still contains the old previously recorded data. That's why we have to prepare it, so we have to erase it. And now I'm going to make a mistake, because I want to demonstrate the write protector button. In case if I will try to erase the content not on the target device, but on the source device, which is connected to port number 0 and which is our suspect drive, which is our evidence drive, I will get an error, because in this case, write protector switcher will be activated, and we can see that if write protector is active, lead is turned on, so we will be at 100% sure that original content will not be damaged anyhow. And when I try to destroy the data on our source drive, I got just a lot of errors, because write protection feature has been enabled. This is how we can analyze the drive, how we can prevent the data changing and data removing from the source drive, which is very important for us. This is about the PC-3000 portable standalone mode and about about our new tool. Okay, and of course, when all copying process, when all procedures with our drive will be over, it will be possible to get the log report from the PC-3000 portable tool when we will connect it to our computer. The full report will be available for you, so you can copy it, you can analyze it, you can use the information about hash sum protection, about hash sum calculation, and finally, from the log, you can get a lot of interesting things what engineer did with the suspect drive when he analyzed it with the help of PC-3000 portable standalone mode. And before we'll go to the next topic, probably you have some questions right now. And probably you have questions about standalone mode. After that, we will go to easy mode and we'll proceed with our presentation. I can see that we get some messages in chat, but unfortunately, I don't know how to open it. Well, probably you can unmute yourself and ask questions by your microphone.
1 second, Roman. Hey, everyone, this is Kent from Teal Technologies. Roman, you're able to view the chat. If you go to the top of your screen, you'll be able to see that there. And then I just need to be able to unmute people if they would like to ask any questions as well. So let's see. Yeah, so I just enabled everyone to unmute themselves.
Thank you. Okay, so no questions for now. Then let's proceed. Probably we'll get some questions in the end of our session. And maybe it will be a good idea if we will start Q&A session just right after presentation. So we will not interrupt the presentation during this speech. You don't mind, Kent?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so let's move forward. And the next topic will be about easy mode. So how the easy mode is working. Actually, if we will try to find out how the easy mode is actually works, you can find that it might be pretty interesting, not only for digital recovery engineers, but also for forensic examiners, because it allows you to get information about password protected drives. It allows you to bypass the password if we are talking about digital video registrations, about locked computers with ATA passwords. It allows us to unlock the drives which are installed inside the vehicles and do some other things. Also, easy mode will allow us to do an imaging features and provide us a pretty convenient report about all steps that we did with data. Let's say it will tell us the information, how many bad heads we have, or probably what is the drive condition, how many bad sectors we have during the drive copy, and so on, so on, so on. So I'm going to demonstrate all this information for you just a little bit later. And one of the most interesting things inside the easy mode is that with the help of easy mode, you can launch automatical diagnostic, which will check all parameters of the hard disk drive, like power testing, like PCB condition, like ID reading, like technocommand checking. Is it possible to communicate with this drive in the technological mode? Also, it will analyze the smart parameters of the drive, will show us do we have a password protection or not. It will check the surface of HDD or SSD and will provide us some information. Can we reach the access on the data, or probably we have some corruptions, or bad sectors, or bad heads. And of course, in the end, it will analyze the heads quality, because you know that one of the main reasons of hard disk drive corruption is a heads failure. So with the help of EasyMode, we can try to analyze it and find out what's wrong with the drive, how we can fix it. Because again, it's amazingly important when you are analyzing the hard disk drive to understand what exactly wrong with the HDD. If you don't know what exactly wrong, you can add a lot of new problems to the drive. For example, if some heads are not working correctly and you will try to make a full imaging of such drive, you can scratch the surface, you can add much more bad sectors than it was before, or probably you can damage the drive completely. And that's why if you don't want to damage your drive, you need to analyze it and find out what's wrong with this drive and apply the correct steps how to bypass all these issues. And one of another features inside the EasyMode is that you can, if we are talking about working drive, you can mount this drive inside the Windows operating system with the help of WinDisk utility and emulate the direct connection to your motherboard. Sometimes it might be useful if you want to analyze how the drive really works if you will just plug it to your computer. And of course, it will be possible to do an imaging from port number 0 to target ports number 1 and 2 if you want to make a full copy of the drive. And in the end of the scanning procedure, in the end of testing, you will be able to generate some reports and analyze it, provide this information, provide these reports to your customer or to your courts if we are talking about digital forensic case. So let's start the live demo. And for doing that, I'm going to share my desktop. Let me do that. And here it is. So here is the main screen of EasyMode. And here you can see just a few buttons available for the engineer who is operating with this drive. And before we will start to analyze our WD green drive, which contains some problems with heads, I'm going to show you a couple of things about standalone mode. You remember I tell you that it's possible to get the information about all steps that we did in standalone mode. This is actually the way how we can do it, how we can get this information. If I will follow by settings, and after that I will go to device standalone mode lock view, I will be able to download the view lock from the portable device, copy it, and analyze all steps that we did on this drive for last several months. All this information is storing inside the lock. We can get here information which drive we connect, what was the status of operation, did we complete the copying, did we complete the reading test, or did we complete the erasing or not. We can get information about hash sum calculation, and again, for more convenience, we can copy this information from the log and use it. Here is, for example, MD5 hash sum calculation after 100% reading test when we launch it. So it might be pretty convenient, it might be pretty useful. So before we will start the new task, I'm going to create a new forensic case. For doing that, I'm just going to press on the button case, and here I have to type some details about our digital case, the suspect drive. So here is the task. I have to create a new task. After that, I have to fill some information about our task. Let's call it the case number 001. Let's add some unique description like WD green 2 terabyte drive, like special notes, some notes. Let's say that probably this drive contains the damaged heads. Here is it. And after that, we have to choose the engineer who is going to work with this drive. For example, if I will set ASLAB engineers, which is myself, so I will have to put the password protection, because when I will generate the report will include information about my name. So we can use it if some engineer is working on some case, so we can easily find who's worked on the suspect drive before. So I type the password, and now I can start to analyze this drive. Again, it's very important to analyze the drive and find exactly what's wrong with the HDD that we're going to work with. That's why, first of all, we have to launch automatical checkup and start the automatical checkup procedure. So just press on start button. After that, our software will power on the drive. You can see that drive is in the busy state, but after a short period of time, it should goes in ready, if the drive is not completely dead, of course. And our software will analyze the drive ID, will read it, it will try to analyze all information about PCB status, about electrical consumption. It will analyze the smart parameters and some other things. But you can see that when I start to analyze this drive, the whole process becomes finished pretty fast. So what was the reason? If we will try to analyze the details of this drive, we can find that here drive is security locked. It means that someone put the password on this drive, and unfortunately it's not possible to work with this drive. It's not possible to diagnose it because drive is locked. Service area in this drive where the firmware, where all models are located, is locked. Data area where all content, where all evidence located, also locked. So we have to find the way how we can unlock it. And we even can try to launch view sector information and read some random LBAs. Like, for example, we can try to read LBA 2048, which is a boot sector usually in a classic hard disk drive. So when I try to read it, I get a abort error. And again, I get this abort error because someone put the ATA password protection on this drive. What we are going to do in this case? Actually, we can just launch the unlock button. If your drive will be security locked, if someone put the ATA password on it, you can successfully find this button, which will be highlighted. Because previously, if we are talking about the hard disk drive, which is not security locked, this button will be not active. So you will be able to find out is it locked or not if this button is active. So let's press on the unlock button, and drive becomes switched into technological mode. We're going to find out where the security model is located. And here we get two options what we can do with this drive. We can just to open it, we can just open the hard disk drive, or we can remove the password protection on this drive. What is the difference? Actually, if we are talking about password removing, we will completely erase the security model on this drive. But I can say that it's not very safety, because again, our drive, if it's our suspect drive, it must have the same original state, the same content as before. And if I will remove the password, I will change the initial status of this drive, which is probably might be prohibited if we are working with forensic case. That's why right now I'm not going to erase the password, but I'm going to read it, and I'm going to open the hard disk drive. So I will be able to bypass the password to jump over it. Let's press OK. And now if I will return back to sector edit and I will try to read the same LBA, I will be able to read the sector pretty good. And here I get information about boot sector. I've got information about NTFS partition. And here I also get some default messages like a disk read error occurred, boot is compressed, and so on. So this is a standard and default message of a boot sector. All right, so let's return back to our automatical checkup. We remove the password so we can try to analyze this drive again and find out what other problems do we have here. And I start the automatical checkup. And again, drive will check the smart parameters. It will check some other information about data status. And by the way, you can see that unfortunately smart option is not available here because SA model is corrupted. It's the sign that for some reason firmware service area inside the hard disk drive also might have some issues, also might have some troubles. So we are going to analyze it later. And right now our software is building the heads map. Here we can see information about active utility status and about technological mode. Drive becomes switched into Western Digital WDC utility, and here we get information about how many heads it have, what is the ROM version, what is the family of this drive, how many copies of service area we get here, and also, of course, we get information about the password protection. This information is described in the log, so we can use it, because again, if our drive was security locked, the password might be set by a criminal, and the same criminal can use the same password for his cloud account, for his Facebook account, for his messenger, for his mobile phone, and for his another RAR archives, which might be also protected. So this feature of password information searching might be extremely helpful. And now the head map is almost done, so our software trying to analyze the heads condition. And by the way, we can see that head number 0 is in a perfect condition, and it reads the surface pretty well. Head number 1 also good, but as soon as we go to head number 2 here, we get some stuck inside the drive, and drive show us some error registers. It's hanging a little bit, and it can't read the surface but head number 2. So probably head number 2 is the main issues inside this drive. That's why we have to analyze it more detailedly and find out how we can bypass this problem with head number 2. I will remind you that this drive contains 6 heads, and all heads except head number 2 are in good condition, but head number 2 is pretty bad. Also, if we will analyze all detailed information about the drive, we can get some graphs, we can get some drawing about the drive status, and also here in heads checking menu, we can find the heads condition in head number 0, head number 1, head number 2, which is corrupted. And of course, this information might be useful when we are providing this info for our customer or for another engineer to share the drive status with him. So what we are going to do right now, we know that this drive contains several heads, and one of the main head is damaged. So what we are going to do here, we can try to disable the damaged head and try to make a copy only by healthy heads. This trick will help us to make a full imaging of the drive without drop speed, without any problems in content, and of course the whole procedure will be absolutely safety, because if one head is not reading surface very good, but we will try to read the data, if we will try to read the data by damaged head, this damaged head might scratch the platters, it may add a lot of new bad sectors and a lot of new problems. That's why we will try to do a smart copying not a full drive head by head, but we are going to make a smart copy healthy head by healthy head, while the bad head will be skipped. We can return back to damaged head later when we will make a full copy of this drive. After that, it will be possible to analyze the drive and probably play with data extractor settings, and anyway read the data by head number 2, but with a very, very slowly speed. In this case, it will be possible to get a partial data, of course, not complete image, but anyway, a partial data content will be available without data, without hard disk drive disassembling, without donor searching, without heads replacement. Let's find out how we can do that. In my example, I'm going to plug 3 terabyte Toshiba drive like a target device to where we will make a copy. So let's make a power on port number 1. And I'm going to make a copy to port number 1. Here it is. Drive is going to be rotated. We get a full ID of the drive with a full 3 terabyte capacity. And now let's start the imaging data. If I will start the imaging data and then I will start a copying process, our software will become switched into data extractor mode. And here, before we'll make a sector by sector copy, I will need to build the head map. To build the head map, I just need to press on the button which is located in the right part of the screen. Here it is, heads map. When I press on it, I will be able to active the building head map feature, and after that our software will analyze the heads, and it will analyze which head is reading which platter. After that, it will be possible to disable the damaged head and use the copying only by healthy and absolutely working heads inside this hard disk drive. Unfortunately, the heads map building is not very fast process because it depends on drive capacity, it depends on the number of heads, it depends on other things. But anyway, if we'll wait a little bit, probably just 2 or 3 minutes, process will be done, and copying, the further copying process, of course, will be available for us. So let's wait a bit. Yeah, and by the way, interesting thing is that sometimes heads map might be built pretty fast because there are a lot of different drives. Some drives contains just 2 heads, another drive contains 10 heads or even 12 heads. So this drive is 6 heads and it's 2 terabyte capacity, and it's also not such a new, it's not a brand new drive, it's a pretty old drive which was in use for a very long time. That's why heads map building takes some time, but anyway, it's pretty fast. Now the process is almost done, and when the heads map become built, we will get an icons about all the heads which active right now. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going just to deselect the head which is damaged. But let's try to remind what was the main issues, which head was the main issues here, why the drive was not working. If I will jump to automatical checkup, I will be able to find head number 2, which is damaged. So let's jump again into imaging data and disable head number 2. After that, I can start the copying process, and this copying process will be amazingly fast. The drive will start the copying process by all heads, by all healthy heads instantly, without any delays or any problems, while it always keeps the head number 2. If I will move the mouse on the head map, you can see that right now head number 0 is reading. Then it goes to head number 1, head number 3, head number 5, 4, and so on. But head number 2 is not in use here. And here is the way how we can completely image the drive and then analyze it, even if head number 2 is not working. What is our options after the copying will be finished? What we have to do here? We need to switch on the head number 2, disable healthy heads, and then with the help of data structure settings, with the help of error handling menu, with the help of loss of reading menu, with the help of different timeouts, we can set a special settings to the drive to make the best possible reading speed from our target, from our source device, from our source hard disk drive. And probably, just probably, if our head is not completely dead, it will be possible to make a very, very slowly copying by even a damaged head. And of course, even if head number 2 is not active, or probably if we have some problems, we can try to launch the Explorer and try to open the partition. And probably here also we can try to launch the file carving and find some files, some parts of file system. Then we can try to analyze, we can try to parse it. And with the help of this trick, it will be possible to ignore the damaged head and get a pretty good result by healthy heads. So here we can find some PDF files. We can open them easily. We can analyze it. We can save it. And the same thing we can do with pictures or with any other parts of file system with other content which was recorded on this drive. Here is how we are going to work with a physically damaged drive inside the easy mode. Okay, so let me switch back to the presentation. And now let's go forward, because we have, I think, one of the most interesting part about the full feature mode. As I said before, full feature mode allows you to get the maximal number of evidence from the physically damaged drives. And I'm going to show you the process of drive analysis when we are working in full feature mode with the help of PC-3000 Portable. Of course, we can do the same steps in full feature mode as we did with the help of PC-3000 Portable tool Easy Mode. But in Easy Mode, all the buttons, all the most, let's say, more frequently used features are available just in a few buttons. While in full feature mode, there are a lot of options, there are a lot of commands, there are a lot of parameters, and we have to know where all these parameters are located and how to launch the information, how to launch the data scanning on it. But again, full feature mode can provide you the largest amount of recovered data, recovered digital evidence from the drive. It's very important. And if you are not going to use full feature mode, probably with the help of Easy Mode, you will be able to restore, let's say, 50–60% of cases, while full feature mode can provide you 95% of recovery cases if we know what to do, and of course, if the drive is not completely destroyed into pieces. So today, during the full feature mode demonstration, I'm going to show you how to work with USB host port and how to work with M2 SSD drive. And first of all, let's talk about the USB host port. Actually, with the help of USB host port, you can use USB sticks, you can use USB native hard disk drives without necessary to find the donor PCB, without necessary to solder the SATA on the native USB, on the USB hard disk drive board. And actually, it might seriously help you with data recovery. And what is the main difference between the host port in the PC-3000 Portable and a default USB port in your computer? What is the main difference? If we will compare the process of drive connection to a PC, laptop, and to PC-3000 Portable, we can find that as soon as you connect the USB device to your computer, first of all, computer start to communicate with it, and computer sends special voltage supplies, power supply on the USB port, and it become controlled by motherboard itself. After that, drive become initialized, and the driver in operating system trying to catch the drive and trying to analyze it. So it's doing some background activities, some background procedures, some verification. So it's trying to apply some protocol commands, and of course, it influences on the drive in the background. Finally, when operating system become completely initialized the drive, it's starting some background activity like drive ID reading, like metadata reading, like partition data reading. It also can do some background activity like background reading of the surface of drive. For example, if you connect some drive and Spotlight is activated in your Mac OS or probably in Windows, some searching algorithms are available for you. Operating system also can try to read the content to improve the speed of searching process when you type something in Cortana option inside the Windows operating system. And of course, this background activity can add some additional problems to your drive. Windows also can try to use a check disk in the background, and if the drive is actually pretty bad, if it's in a bad shape, this procedure, this background check disk might be a real problem and the main issue, the main reason why the drive become absolutely dead. So what happens when you connect the USB drive directly to USB host port? First of all, we get a full control under a power supply. So no current jump, we can send default voltage on the drive, we can control this voltage, send it higher or lower to make the drive working. It's going to be communicated not by a standard driver produced by Windows operating system, but through our own driver that our developers write. This driver contains a lot of optimizations, a lot of switched off background processes. So the reading through the ASLab driver will be much more stable, much more better than a reading through a common Windows driver. Also, there will be no any operating system influence and no any background reading and writing activity from the operating system. And of course, even if you will connect the drive through USB port, it will be possible to send some low-level commands in technological mode, because before we release this solution, you have to, if we are talking about USB, the native USB WD, Toshiba or Samsung HDD, you have to find a donor drive, you have to swap the SATA PCB unit, you have to swap the ROM chip, unsolder everything, and after that you will get a SATA drive that you have to communicate and work. But right now, if you have USB host port, we can bypass all these problems and get direct access to the drive, to the technological command, to the active utility with the help of this USB port. And usually, if you are working with such unstably working USB drive, you can get the following solutions. You can successfully solve the problem when drive is not working stably, if it's going to be disconnected, if it shows you too many bad sectors during the analysis. It can seriously help you in case of drive just logically corrupted, or probably it contains some problem with deleted files, with deleted partitions, and so on. And of course, USB host port allows you to successfully bypass the bad sectors, because otherwise, when you analyze the drive directly, which is directly connected to your operating system, to your laptop, or probably to your computer, bad sectors might be a reason why the drive is hanging, why the operating system become stuck for some reason. So it become possible to restart the power supply, reset special technological command on the USB port, and bypass this problem and successfully skip the bad sectors while we copying or while we analyzing the connected drive. And right now, our PC-3000 Portable support all types of USB devices, like native and custom USB hard disk drives. It allows you to communicate with USB sticks, no matter what type. Either it might be a common USB flash stick, or it might be a monolithic USB stick, where all components like PCB, interface, controller, and NAND memory chips are joined all together in one ceramic layer. And with the help of special adapter, which is included into PC-3000 package, you can communicate with SD and micro SD cards. And actually, right now I'm going to show you some real case demonstration. I've got here, actually it's a small micro SD card, which I put inside the adapter. Here it is, just a small SanDisk micro SD card. I put it inside the SD adapter, and then I put it into a card reader adapter, which will allow me to connect this drive to the laptop. So let's try to find out what will happen if I will connect this faulty micro SD card directly to my computer without PC-3000 Portable. And again, excuse me, so for now I have to stop sharing my screen, because I want to switch the windows between the presentation and Windows window and icons. So let me do that. Okay, here it is. I'm going to share it right now. And you can see here two drives. It's my SSD and HDD drive connected directly to my computer. And if I will try to connect the SD card using the USB port here, I will be able to detect it, or probably not. Let's see. So Windows start to hanging. I see only a removable disk, but unfortunately I can't reach the data on this drive. And unfortunately this drive is not working at all for some reason. And most likely we have some driver problems, because this micro SD card can be used normally, can be used correctly with the help of the original driver. Probably the initial firmware of this micro SD is not pretty good, and when Windows driver trying to communicate with this micro SD card, it get a failure, and drive couldn't be initialized correctly, and we get an error. So let's try to do the following thing, the same thing, but after I will plug this micro SD card to the PC-3000 portable tool. And let's see, do we have any difference here or not? Okay, and again, sorry, I have to stop to sharing my screen and switch to PC-4000 portable one more time. And I'm starting the full feature mode, and I'm using USB port as a main port. So right now I'm ready to share my screen. Here it is. And here you can see the list of utilities for USB drives. And as I said before, we support all types in universal utility. But if we are talking about drives which connected to a classic hard disk drive with native USB interface, we can find here WD manufacturer, Toshiba manufacturer, and Samsung manufacturer. And again, if you will get some custom drive like a Seagate drive where we have a USB connector, USB adapter from SATA to USB, it will be also possible to analyze it if you will connect this drive directly to the USB port. So let's make a power supply on this drive. And after that, let's launch the universal utility. Universal utility will show us, is it possible to analyze this drive and read the drive ID or not. And by the way, here we can get some basic information about our USB storage device, that this USB storage device is a card reader adapter. Inside we get 16 gigabyte of capacity. So this is a micro SD card with 16 gigabyte capacity. After that, let's launch the data extractor and let's move forward with task creation. So here I'm going to select the PC-3000 USB utility as a main utility that I'm going to use for analyze this drive. And after that, when the task will be created, I'm communicating with this drive directly through the USB host port, so I can bypass the driver influence, the bad sector influence, the not stable initialization influence. And after that, I can try to open the folder structure, see the information inside the folders, and actually I even can try to open the pictures and open the files inside the micro SD card, which I'm going to analyze right now. And of course, in the end of this procedure, I can try to make a full sector copy of this drive. I can make a copy to another drive, or I can try to make a copy into a file, into a binary file that could be analyzed later with the help of third-party tools. If you want to launch, for example, some special searching algorithm to find out some other information about some keywords, probably files with specific keywords, and so on. So this is how we can communicate with this USB host port. Actually, again, we get a lot of interesting cases while the native USB hard disk drive were not operatable. But as soon as we connect to USB host port, with the help of our driver, we can bypass all restrictions and get a good access to user data on the drive. So this is how the full feature mode and how the data extractor and how the USB host port is working in full feature mode. Okay. And the last real life case that I'm going to demonstrate you will be about the logically damaged NVMe drives. And I hope that it will be interesting because in last Thursday, we make a presentation about trim technology, about trim commands on the modern SSD drives. And actually, the steps that I'm going to apply right now will be the same as we have to do to bypass the trim problem. And as I said before, right now, PC-3000 Portable 3 is the only tool which can handle with logically damaged NVMe drives. And not only with NVMe, we can handle on, because with the help of portable, we can work with SATA drives, with leaf drives, with Apple Blade SATA, Apple Blade NVMe drives. All types of modern SSD drives are supported. In nearest future, we are also going to support the SAS drives. So probably you heard about the SAS SSD drives, which are using the SAS interface inside. Such drives will be also supported. But in my demonstration, I'm going to show you how we can recover the information from the HP NVMe SSD. This SSD is a brand new drive. I mean that HP company just released it a few months ago and it just appeared in the market. But anyway, right now it's supported, and with the help of special PC-3000 NVMe adapter, it became possible to install this drive, short special points on the PCB of this drive, switch this drive into safe mode, and after that upload the loader, which will help us to diagnose the drive. And again, excuse me for switching the presentation to my screen. I'm going to launch the software one more time, and here it is. This is our NVMe drive. So let's share the screen of PC-3000. Okay, here we go. And here is the main window of NVMe utility. So again, first of all, what we are going to do right now, we are going to make a power supply, and we need to launch the universal utility, which will just show us what's going wrong with this drive. Because universal utility is emulate the behavior of drive when we connect it directly to our computer. So let's find out, do we able to read a full capacity and full passport details of this NVMe drive? I'm going to launch universal utility, and here I get information about my connected drive. As you remember from the picture that I show you, information about capacity is wrong here, because original drive capacity is around 128 gigabytes, while right now I can see only 1 gigabyte of information. Also, we can see here information about the model, because the model here is not HP drive. The model here is SM2263, which actually is a controller name in this SSD. So looks like something goes wrong with this drive, and drive can't provide us a full access to user data, and we can't operate with this drive in normal mode. Excuse me. So what we are going to do right now? First of all, we need to exit from universal utility and set up the HP utility for Silicon Motion drives. Let's try to launch it. Select our drive, which is AX900. And after that, it will be possible to upload the loader. Right now, I take these tweezers and I short the special points on the drive PCB. So that's why we can see not a complete passport ID inside this drive. And right now, this drive is located in safe mode, so we block all access to the NAND memory chips. But when the drive located in safe mode, I will become able to upload the loader. And actually, what I'm going to do right now, I'm starting the loader uploading. I'm going to upload the loader inside drive RAM, so it's absolutely safety for the drive. And when the loader become uploaded, here I can see some additional information about our SSD. For example, I can get information about memory chip ID manufacturer. It's an Intel actually. Also, I can get here information about memory chip capacity. This drive contains 4 chips, so the total capacity here will be even more than 128 gigabytes, because SSD drive required some additional space for sector relocation and for storing the data inside. And actually, here we can get information about the number of chips and the number of channels here inside the current HP SSD. What we are going to do now to bypass the trim, what we are going to do now to get the data on this drive, actually we have to rebuild the translator, the original firmware, which is damaged right now inside the drive. So we can try to analyze the service information of the drive. We can take some separate models, rebuild the translator and use it as a native. But here the interesting thing, actually we are going to do all these operations in the background, and all this operation will be performed by our utility itself. So we don't need to do all this operation manually like I did with the hard disk drive, because our utility is pretty smart. The only things that we have to do, just switch between data extractor and our utility. Then we have to create a new task. Let's call it HP SSD. And after that, choose the PC-3000 utility as the main utility that we are going to work through. We select it, and now we are able to do all operation in the background. So right now our software analyze the drive service area, trying to find some separated models which include information about bad sectors, about good sectors, and with the help of these separated models, our software is going to regenerate the translator and upload this translator into drive RAM. As soon as we will done with this operating, you can see that this operation is pretty fast. We'll get full access to the user data and even more, because while the drive located in technological mode, we can get not only access to the user area in this drive, but also for the relocated sectors, for the extended capacity, which is not available for us for our target right now. And now let me show you what we are going to do here. So we just open the partition. We get full drive content, and we can try to open this content. We can try to analyze it. We can try to copy it. We can save it just like separate folders inside one common folder, or we can do an imaging. If I will choose the export option, I will be able to export the whole copy of drive to another NVMe drive, or I can try to export into a single file, into a binary file. Or the third option is export into forensic format. So as soon as I will edit, I will be able to choose one of the forensic features, one of the forensic formats that I can use. For example, if I will use advanced forensic format, I will be able to add some password encryption. I will be able to compress the data, add some information about my case. And of course, when you are saving the data in the forensic formats, hash sum calculation will be done in the background and will be added to the binary file after you will complete the saving the information in forensic format. So again, it's a great idea for those companies who want to analyze the content by keywords using some third-party tools. And I think that this feature might be pretty useful for forensic engineers and forensic experts. This is how we can recover data from physical damaged drive, where the main reason of corruption is the damaged firmware inside the SSD. And again, the same steps we can perform also for those drive which contains the problem with stream. So if someone delete the data, we have to switch the drive into safe mode, upload the loader, rebuild translator, create a new task and get the data. That's all what we need to do. Okay, my presentation is almost over. So the last thing that I'm going to speak about will be additional information about ACE Lab trainings and technical support. Actually, our company provides technical support for all customers who bought PC-3000 tools, and our engineers are very experienced because we are working worldwide and we're getting the cases from all over the world. And we can usually help our customers to get the data in case if they have some problems with accessing data. Also, we have a pretty good training classes, training rooms in North America, in Canada, in USA, and Tilt Technology, Tiltech, they help us to provide this training. So all classes are well equipped. They include all necessary information, all necessary equipment, all necessary computers, soldering stuff to provide the trainings about all PC-3000 tools, not only about hard disk drive and SSD, but also for SSD drives, so for flash drives, for monolithic devices, and for RAID arrays. So we provide all these trainings, and if you are interested in it, of course, you are able to contact with Tiltech and get the details from them. Finally, what is our futures? What is the Ace Lab futures, future plans? We are planning to improve the stability. We planning to improve the quality and improve the features of the PC-3000 Portable 3. We're going to add some new functions, some new modes, some new drives inside the portable tool. And as I said again, this tool is still under rapidly developing. And the new features appear almost every week. And we add some new features, we add some new modes. So we will continue to work with PC-3000 Portable tool in future. Also, we will continue to support our existing tools like Express, UDMA, Flash, and SAS, because these tools are amazingly good for the same things, but in full feature mode. Unfortunately, they do not have easy mode and they can't work with NVMe drives. But if we are talking about classic hard disk drive, if we are talking about a SATA SSD drive, these tools are also perfect. And we planning to release PC-3000 Mobile for mobile phone recovery, for cell phone recovery. And actually, this project is a pretty huge and pretty complex, because we have to work with encrypted drives. We are going to find out the different tricks, different secrets, how we can bypass the encryption in different types of the models of the mobile phones. And we're going to release it probably closer to the end of 2020. And again, we are planning to release new updates. We are planning to add a lot of new drives inside the PC-3000. And we are planning to solve the most complex problems connected with modern drives. Like you know, there was a problem with self-encrypted WD drives, and finally we get the access how to work with these drives, with these new SMR drives. So we find out how we can get the data from them. And we planning to expand our technical support. We planning to provide some more trainings worldwide, and of course we are planning to launch our new technical support portal, because right now we have a pretty good technical support portal, but all the resources are a little bit situated in different positions in different websites. So we're going to combine everything together and integrate the blog, the forum, the update box server where you can get the updates, the technical support ticket system inside one common and convenient tool, which will be available for all customers who have PC-3000. So thank you very much for your attention. I hope that you found something interesting during my presentation, and probably right now you have some questions.
Okay, Roman, so maybe we should take a look at the group chat, and because I see there are some questions from Wesley. Let's take a look.
Okay, let me take a look at the chat, because unfortunately I don't see it. Probably if I will stop to share in my presentation, I will be able to see the chat. Yeah, right now I can see it. Hello, Wesley. It's a pleasure to speak with you again. Let me read the information from your site. Will PC-3000 Portable incorporate the features of PC-3000 Flash and allow for accessing bad sectors data not normally visible, much like what was discussed during the technical conference? A different application, I know, but a sometimes useful one. Well, actually, it's a good question, but you should understand that unfortunately, NAND flash technology is pretty complex, and we are not planning to add PC-3000 flash software inside the portable software because it's just a little bit different tools. But again, if you want to work with all types of devices, PC-3000 flash sometimes is not required for you, because if you are going to concentrate only on logically damaged drives, it will be possible to analyze it with the USB host port. And the same with micro SD cards, you can do it. But if we talk about the NAND reconstruction, if we're talking about NAND analysis, about chip-off technology, then of course you need PC-3000 flash, because this tool can provide you extremely deep analysis of the NAND memory chip content. And of course, with the help of NAND analysis, with the help of PC-3000 flash, you can get the largest amount of information, the large amount of data from the suspect USB flash stick or micro SD card or compact flash card. Another question is also from Wesley, same with respect to the trim recovery SSD safe engineering mode. Well, actually, if we talk about the trim command, again, the only way to bypass the trim right now is to use PC-3000 portable tool, because, or Express or UDMA, because you can switch the drive into safe mode. You can bypass the problem connected with trim deleted data. But if you are going to do a chip off from the SSD drive, you will find only encrypted garbage inside, because all modern solid-state drive, they're using a full headway encryption. And unfortunately, in this case, if you want to bypass the trim via the chip unsoldering and via the PC-3000 flash, I doubt that you will get some success, because as soon as you do that, unfortunately, you will find only AS encryption inside, but not a file header, so parts of file system or some deleted information, of course. Okay. Thank you very much for your questions. Probably we have some more a little bit later, so let's wait.
Okay, thank you, Roman. Okay, guys, so if you have some questions anyway, let's keep in touch through the Tilt tag, guys, and we would be glad to conduct a series of the webinars and devoted to some other interesting topics. And as for today, I think it's more than enough, right? Thank you.
Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure to be with you. It was a pleasure to tell you something interesting about hard disk drive, about SSDs. So in case of any questions, like Max said, please keep in touch with us and ask your questions in any time. Actually, here I'm going to share my contacts. So if you will get some additional questions later, you can contact our website, you can contact our blog, read some additional information, and of course, you're able to get my contacts from Kent, from Tiltech, and he will provide all necessary information so we can speak with you later. And thank you very much one more time. See you next time.
Okay, thank you, everyone.